Alright, so I'm going to show you how to do the strat solo as a two-handed warrior. Um, First of all, really the primary build that I got going on here. So I've got my four-piece tier 3, not necessary, or yeah, I've got four-piece tier 4. What you really want is four-piece tier 4, just for the additional cleaves. It's actually incredibly helpful. Um, Good stats as well, so definitely helps out a lot. I'm rocking Might of Menethil still. It pretty much trivializes a lot of the human mobs, simply for the fact that it procs so often, and by the time that the first or even second stun is done, uh, they're already dead. There are some of the human mobs that do disarm, so I really like the disarming gloves. You don't necessarily need it, or weapon chain for that matter, but it does allow you to kind of just help clear the mobs really quickly. So I've got defense on them, not needed either. You can go strength enchant, um, and then you'll see I've got like Courage of Fury, Dark Rider Spine. That's just so I can hit my hit cap. I was trying to hit expertise cap. I got 5% right now, but I'm just not going to hit it quite well. The trinkets I really like, obviously, Kiss of the Spider is really, really good for just some of the burst down moments. Um, I also like to rock Life Giving Gem, Fetish of the Sand Reaver, and my PvP trinket. The PvP trinket is really good on Archivist, as well as the stun mobs going into the cannon room. Both are really good. Not necessarily needed. You could also use FAPS or um, I believe lips work too, or not lips. Living action potions, also really good. But once again, fetish isn't needed. Life giving isn't needed. They're just really good save points. Fetish helps you skip a lot of the trash. Um, but the PvP trinket I do highly recommend. If you have Ashbringer, don't really need Might of Menethil. You'll be blowing up mobs already anyway. Pretty much the necessary parts of this kit are going to be 2-piece tier 4, having decent stats as well, and then also you're going to want to be using world buffs, and I prefer using full consumes. Definitely use an HP flask, whether that's Titans, or in this case I'm going to be using Old Gods, just since it'll scale better with world buffs. With that being said, this is pretty much the easiest thing. I'm going to get it rolling, and we'll see how it all goes. Um, I'm going to be doing full consumes. Once again, not really needed, but it does help out quite a lot. I really like armor pots as well, or armor elixirs. Once again, not needed, really helpful. So let's get this rolling. So for this first pack here, right outside the gate, you always, whenever you're fighting any of the undead mobs, you really want to go and hook in the guardians. Since they're the casters, I will not be clearing them, but you can kill them pretty easily. With that being said, make sure you've also got your world buffs up. You got your regular buffs. I'm going to Rocket Boots past these. You can also Blood Rage, do an Intercept. In this case, I'm just going to Fetish of the Sand Reaver and ignore all this. I do recommend bringing in Restoration Pots so you can clear the movement speed slow debuff that some of the mobs put out. I like doing these personally. Not needed, but it does help quite a bit. And you want to be making sure that you're running Victory Rush. That actually makes this entire kill pretty much a joke. So Unforgiven does have a dodge that he can do. Make sure you use an overpower. It helps out a lot. It'll help you kill the mob a lot faster. Not needed. You can skip this boss if you're really good with your fetish. I am not. I don't really shield wall or anything going into it, so... And then also, you want to be making sure that no matter what, if you are going to be pulling an abomination at any point, you are doing that by itself. It will kill you. Guaranteed. I'm also using Sanguinist. Sanguinist just helps out a lot with damage in general. I mean, 15% damage is nothing to laugh at. And you'll notice that Grand Inquisition, or Grand Inquisitor, is actually doing a lot of healing. I mean, that was 900 on that one. That's a lot. That will do quite a bit of your sort of survival healing just mid-combat. Make sure you're keeping yourself alive with Victory Rush on every single pack. I'm actually going to be doing a little bit of looting too, because looting is always good, in my opinion. You get like 20 gold, raw gold, just from mobs doing this clear, which more than pays for your consumes and everything. You see I got a purification pot there. That's pretty good. And so you'll kind of get to see here doing a bit of making sure that I'm gripping in the Guardians as much as I can. You want to try to keep up Sanguinus as much as you can. It helps out a lot on damage. Make sure you're using Victory Rush as often as you can. So you can't bleed the skeletons, but you can bleed the cadavers. I do recommend bleeding the cadavers for your Sanguinus buff up time. It's going to be one of your only mobs, at least during the Undead section, that you can bleed. As you notice, Minomenethil is doing a lot of stuns. It's pretty much trivializing a lot of this. You do want to focus the Guardians a lot, just for the simple fact of they're magic mobs. They're going to do a lot of damage on you, just regardless. So, I should have boots up. I'll use that. Now that I've gone through the Undead section, I can use my Resto Pot. It's going to get rid of that Ghoul Plague. That is one of the things that is doing a lot of... It's going to slow down your run entirely. When you start getting to stuff like this, you want to make sure that you're interrupting the Conjurer just so he comes into melee range, or you can meat hook him as well. So when it comes down to it, the Conjurers aren't really that bad, but it is really good to just get them out of the way as quick as possible. They have low armor since they're a caster mob. Makes it really, really easy to just cleave down everything. And I prefer to do more of a safe approach. I like killing the side guys first, and then I'll come over here. These initiates, they do a lot of damage. Their Shadow Word Pain really fucks you over, so you kind of want to focus them down as much as you can. So, you notice there I got a little close. That guardsman almost pulled. Not that big of a deal. You could always just make sure that you head in there as soon as possible and start cleaving them down. I'll kind of show like a damage breakdown after the fact, as well as kind of like a clear timer from front to back. So you can kill Timmy over there, but I do not recommend it. He does a lot of damage. He's actually pretty scary to go after, in my opinion. So, make sure I'm keeping myself alive with Victory Rush. You're just chain pulling the entire time. You kind of have to with Victory Rush. I like to meat hook this guy. Usually just caster, simply because there is that patrol that comes in there. Depending on how quick you are, there's the patrol now. You can kill the patrol group here as well. This is actually a bit risky simply because I'm so close to this next pack, but as you can see, I'm doing pretty fine so far. Make sure you're rending for Sanguinist on every single pack that you can. So one thing you will notice, looks like I've already gotten an orb. Super nice. I always try to make sure that I come in with some health pots as well. You don't realize how good they are until you end up using one mid pull and it kind of saves you. So you can solo Malor the Zealous. I usually do. He doesn't have a chance to drop any orbs or anything, so it's not the most important thing in the world. And then also you can kill these undead packs. I'm not going to right now. I just don't think it's necessary. So what I like to do, I make sure that I'm gripping one of the guys here. That way I just don't charge in and run the risk of pulling the other pack in there. And you do want to make sure that you are killing all the stragglers. As I said before, these initiates really, really hurt. It's really, really good to get them out of the way as soon as possible. And this is a really good farm for Runecloth too. I find myself getting probably almost 200 Runecloth a clear. When you start coming down to these packs here, those battle mages are really scary. They will... There's another orb. Those battle mages, they do a lot of damage. So just be really mindful of that. I like to open up this door first, just because I'm already down here killing these mobs. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to go down here. This is a really good place to have your PvP trinket ready. Just because these guys down here do stun. If you get some unlucky procs on Mitaminethil, sometimes you won't be able to stun them and they'll just kill you. When you're down here, so the people who are going to stun are these defenders. So while it's not necessary to focus them down, it does help out a lot. And when they do their shield, they're going to run away. You just want to make sure that you're killing them as soon as possible. Bit close there. Yep, you see there, he got a stun in on me. That's perfectly fine. He's kind of going to go off and do his own thing for a moment. That's fine. Totally okay. I'd rather hold my PvP trinket in case something else comes up. So, he is going to run into these guys. That's fine. I am going to use my PvP trinket there. I think that's just going to make this a little bit quicker. Ooh, I might die here actually. Nope. Make sure you're refreshing your buffs. Always really good to do. As you'll notice here, these skeleton mobs just melt. They're not really an issue here. So there shouldn't be any more stuns I gotta worry about, so I'm gonna go back to my life-giving gem. Life-giving gem gives you a health boost as well as it's almost like a health pot. It's really, really useful on some of these packs. Just because sometimes you'll notice that you get a little low, you kind of freak a little bit. It's really, really good. So on this, the patrol is still out, but that's fine. I usually really like to grab the patrol. I like to grab the patrol kind of by itself, simply because it gets a little hectic if you don't. And then making sure you don't necessarily want to charge in on these guys, just because they do run the risk of pulling the alcove group here. So you really don't want to do that. I'm gonna pop my life-giving gem here, just kind of for the heal, just to increase my uptime on him. So you'll notice here I am kind of greeting a little bit, kind of trying to make sure that I'm able to use my victory rush a little bit. As I said before, these battle mages are pretty scary. They can wombo combo you pretty easily. Their little blast nova, it fucking trucks. So my bags are actually full. That's insane to me. That's just kind of how much you actually get from these runs. So the reason you want the PvP trinket is actually for Archivist, because he has something called Blistering Winds. Or he has an ability where it stuns you and does like 1500 damage over a few seconds. So you really want to get that out of the way early. Otherwise he probably will kill you during it. So I pop cooldowns for him. That's it. That's all it takes. Pretty quick run. Was sub 15 minutes. And that's pretty much what you're looking for in Claire. Pretty easy. On the way out, I'll probably kill a few undead mobs. Nothing too crazy. And that's kind of it. And if you look here, actually, the raw gold that I got from that run was just a little under 20 gold. I have not really made any attempts at killing Balnazar solo. I don't think it's worthwhile. I think you're better off just taking your loot and walking out. What you can always do is have an alt that is outside of the dungeon. You log out, and they have to be in your group. You log out, you log in on your alt, you reset the dungeon, and it'll port you back to the Strat home graveyard. That's pretty much it. Quick 15-minute run. Thank you.